Hello, so we are here with a little interview with Gary Johnson, drummer of Await the Gates. Yeah. He's got a middle finger cigarette, no big deal. So, I was wondering, how did you come about in music?
Well, I first started music whenever I was about 12 years old. It was whenever I first really latched onto the musical side of my life. And that's the first time I ever picked up a pair of drumsticks, really, was then. And my dad had a drum set, and it was a Portal Export series, and I played on it. But I always just fiddle-daddled around for a long time. Would play just like simple songs with them, and just so you could get through it. And then my bandmate Jake Morgan started playing guitar, which gave me a lot of inspiration as far as to pick up the drumsticks and actually do something myself. Our dads are both great musicians, and I figured that it would only be right if me and him followed in those footsteps. So I kind of followed after him, and that's where I really started getting my love for music and realized that that's what I want to do in life. That's all that I'm meant for.
Alright, so how long have you known Jake for?
I've known Jake for the better part of my life. He's been my best friends for about 7 years, and it's always a good time with him. So he's always it's real spontaneous and fun and energetic, and I'm pretty much the same, except I'm very eccentric and I'm really crazy, basically.
Alright. So how long exactly have you been playing drums for?
Well, I started my sophomore summer more or less. And so about 3 years, 3.5 years, and wonderful years, I would say. It's been pretty much the best time in my life, although I've been through a lot of difficult parts in my life. Though music has been pretty much there, to help me get along through it. And Jake has been there. And pretty much music is my relief from the world. Like if I have a bad day or something, turn on some music or something like that can soothe my mind. That's what really music does for me.
Alright. So, who would you say your most inspiration is?
That would definitely be Jimmy the If I could not think of one person that would stand head and shoulders above all, and it's just Jimmy, He basically taught me everything about music, and as far as the composing side of music is that you just can't be a musician and play an instrument. You have to have a love for it, and you have to understand it. You can't just, be a great musician as far as you have to know when and how to use the parts of the music that you've learned, and then incorporating it into your own style of music. Because if you create your own music, then that's the point of it. That's the most amazing part about music, is whenever you create your own. But you cannot create your own music, is what he's taught me, is that you can't make it sound like other people's. You have to make it sound unique and give it its own style and flair to it. And always play with a love, and always have use your friends as well as if I didn't have Jake as another as my bandmate, I don't think I'd be pushed as hard to keep up and be as good as a musician as I am now. So I owe a lot to him too. So, but the Rev is definitely the most amazing drummer there's ever came across this planet.
Alright, so one more question before we gotta head out of here. So, do you have any specific practice routines, or?
Yeah, I use a lot of I practice a lot with my rudiments, and a lot of people have always given me trouble about that, but it's actually probably the most important thing as a drummer understand is at your rudiments. And you know, for a long time I just did my rudiments, but then about the past year I started working with a metronome, so to better my timing, because that's the main job as a drummer. So I worked a lot with I'm working a lot with metronome and rudiments, and then just learning songs and things like that. That's a lot of my practice routine, and hand and foot coordination between doing like two with your hands, 2 with your feet, then you're on like 4 with your hands, 2 with your feet, and then going like 6 with your hands, 2 with your feet, or you can go 4 with your hands, 4 with your feet. Doing like different combinations between that, or just incorporating like say double stroke rolls into doing just single bass strokes under it, to things like that. Just a lot of incorporating what you've learned into coordination, and that's pretty much what I do.
Sounds like a lot of work.
A lot of time over my head.
24/7 every day.
Every day.
Alright, well that's it for today for this interview with Gary Johnson, the drummer of Await the Gates. Make sure to follow them. They're on Twitter, and like them on Facebook, and subscribe here on YouTube.
That is the word.
Not bird.
Not bird. That is the word. A bird is the word. I said a bird. Follow Await the Gates.